Hi everyone, back with another video here. This is a question that a few people have had a problem with. Totally understandable. It's quite a tricky question when you actually get into it. So what I'm going to try and do is break it down for us, show us the two methods that there are to complete it, and also show you a new technique which is called a radial array, which is how we're going to create all these wee grooves up here. So the two ways that you can do this is you can loft it, or you can do the revolve method. So if you loft it, you're going to create 1, 2, 3, 4 planes, well 3 really, because this plane here is given when you select it, and then creating each of the circular profiles which are given up here. The size is 30, 16, 14, and then lofting them together, and that gives you that outline shape there. If you're doing the revolve method, you're going to draw half of this. So if you imagine covering half of the shape and only drawing the kind of what's to the right of the mouse there, and making sure that all the sides are on it, and then revolving it around that centre axis there. One of the other things I want to draw your attention to is this term here, this PCD. So what PCD stands for is pitch circle diameter, and what that shows is when a circle has a centre that is on the outside of another circle, or the circumference of another circle, it's known as the PCD. So it lets you know where it is. So if you see here it says PCD 14, that means that the centre of this semicircle here is on the outside of the 14 diameter circle. So that's what that term there means. Okay. So what we're going to do is just go through the question. The real tricky part is doing this array part at the top here. So that's the bit that I'm really going to focus on as we're going through it. So as you can see here, I've already got the completed outline. So I've got my 1, 2, 3, 4 profiles. So if we go back, what you're going to have is your first plane is going to be this one here, and you're going to have a circle at 30 diameter on it. You're then going to offset a plane from there by 2 millimeters. So you can see there, that's going to be 2, and this has the same size circle, so it's just going to be another 30 there. From there, from this plane, what you're then going to do is offset that there by 5, and that's going to give us this part. You're going to draw a circle on that diameter of 16, and then from that one, you're going to offset another plane, 10 millimeters this time, and it's going to be a diameter of 14 on it. When you've done that, it's just a case of lofting everything together, and if you don't remember how to do the offset planes, if you go back and watch my loft tutorial, that'll give you a brief idea how to do it. So when you've done that, you'll end up with this shape here. Okay, perfectly uniform all the way around, and what we're going to do now is create the kind of grips that are on the top. I've left this work plane visible because we're going to need it when we're going to do this, because what we're going to do is, the problem with this question is people think that you can just extrude this, but if you notice here, this got a slight taper on it, so you can't just extrude it, because remember, extrudes go in a straight line. So there's two ways you can do it. You can do an extrude along a path, or you can do the loft. I think the loft is the best method to do it. So we're going to start it off, and I'm going to do a sketch on the top circle here. What I'm going to do is create a circle. I'm going to zoom in quite far because this is very small, 0.3 millimeters in diameter, which is tiny. And then what we do is we trim that part there. Can you also make sure, well, what I'm also going to make sure is I get rid of that yellow bit there, and then just draw the arc to complete that there. So that's me got my sketch on the top there, and then I need to create the same sketch on the bottom part, because that's where this is going to end. So again, I'm going to flip this round, zoom in quite far, because again it's a tiny wee circle, and again 0.3. Trim that outer bit there, get rid of that part, and then finish it off, just do the arc to make sure that's there. Again, when you're answering questions like this, you don't need to put in every step. It'd be enough to just talk about both those profiles. So I've got both those profiles there. You can see I've got that there and that there. Make sure they're going inside the shape, not on the outside. And then we're going to select the loft command up here. So zoom in again, make sure it's the shape you're selecting and not the entire profile. If you do that, it's not going to go very well. And you can see there, I've got that. And you'll see that by default, if I turn it around to the side here, this is set to add. Just like an extrude, we can subtract this as well. Okay, just select it over there, and that's me now got my initial kind of shape there. Now there's 38 of these. It would be a real pain if we had to try and do 38 of these repeatedly. So thankfully there's a wee command for that. If you go up to where it says pattern here, we've got the one that says circular. Okay, we don't call it circular, we call it a radial array. Okay, an array is when you repeat a shape around a profile around a shape. We're going to repeat this profile here around this circular shape. So what we're going to do is select Radial Array. It's going to give us this dialog box here, and it's going to give us the feature. The feature is what you want to use the array on, and then the rotation axis is just the circle. You can see there that I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now it says 6 here. It also includes the initial one, so don't take that into account when you're doing it. And then I'm going to change this to 38. Click OK, and you'll see there that I've now got my grips that are on there. So that's the kind of simple way of doing it. If you're going to do the revolve method, that is the sketch that you require there. When you're doing the revolve method, you must have all the key dimensions in. So for example, if you were missing this dimension, or this dimension, or this dimension, you will lose the marks for that profile. So it's really important that if you are doing that, you put in as many of the dimensions as you can. Just make sure that they're all there. And when you finish the sketch, you get the exact same thing, and then you just repeat that process. For the part at the bottom, all you need to do is flip it, 5mm circle on the bottom, extrude it up by 11, because if you have a look from there to there is 9, and if this circle here is 4, it means that the size from here to here is 2, so 9 plus 2 is 11. Another circle out here, and extrude subtract both of them until they intersect and give you that solution there. So I'm hoping that that is helpful for you. Any questions or any problems with it, just let me know and I'll try my best to help. Thank you.